No one thought a wedding filled with love would end in heartbreak before the night was over. Smiles, music, happy tears, it all looked perfect. And Nina was right at the center of it. The church had never looked so beautiful. White flowers lined the aisle, soft lights glowed against the walls, and every seat was filled with friends and neighbors who had watched Swarla fight for their love. When they finally stood face to face, holding hands and trying not to cry, it felt like the whole street was holding its breath with them. Their vows were simple but full of feeling. They spoke about trust, about choosing each other every day, about building a future together no matter what came their way. People in the crowd wiped away tears. Even those who once doubted them were smiling. It felt like a new beginning, not just for Swarla, but for everyone who believed in second chances. Among the guests, Nina stood quietly, dressed in black as always, her dark makeup softer than usual for the special day. She clapped when everyone else clapped. She smiled when Swarla kissed. On the outside, she looked calm and happy for her friends. But if you looked closely, you could see something was off. Her smile didn't always reach her eyes. A few times, she checked her phone and quickly turned the screen away. When someone asked if she was okay, she brushed it off and said she was just tired. Still, there was a strange tension in her face, like she was carrying a thought she didn't want to share. As the celebration moved from the ceremony to the reception, the mood only grew brighter. Music filled the air, glasses clinked, and people talked about how perfect the day had been. Swarla's first dance was slow and full of love, and everyone gathered around them, cheering. Nina stood near the back, watching them closely. For a moment, her eyes filled with tears. Was she simply moved by the romance, or was something else on her mind? Her phone buzzed again. This time, she didn't ignore it. She read the message, and her face changed. The color seemed to drain from her cheeks. Nanyani slipped out of the room, leaving the music and laughter behind. And as the door closed softly behind her, no one noticed that the happiest night on Coronation Street had just taken its first step toward disaster. The music inside was loud and joyful, but outside the night felt completely different. The air was cold, and the street was almost silent. Nina walked quickly, her heels tapping against the pavement. She looked at her phone again, reading the message over and over. We never see what it says, but whatever it is, it clearly shakes. She takes a deep breath, trying to calm herself down. Back inside, Swarla are laughing during their first dance. Friends are cheering, someone starts recording on their phone, and the wedding cake is being prepared. She has walked further down the street, toward the darker corner near the alley. A shadow moves in the distance. At first, it could be anyone. Maybe just another guest getting fresh air. Maybe nothing at all, but Nina stops walking. She senses she is not alone. We hear a voice call her name. It is not friendly, it is sharp. Nina turns slowly, her face goes pale. She whispers, "You shouldn't be here." The other person steps closer, but we still don't clearly see who it is. A streetlight flickers, making the moment feel even more tense. Nina tries to stay strong. They talk about betrayal, about lies, about something Nina kept secret. Inside the reception hall, a glass suddenly falls and shatters on the floor. Everyone laughs it off as an accident. The music keeps playing. No one knows that only a few streets away, the real disaster is building. Outside, the argument grows louder. Nina's voice cracks as she tells the person to leave. She takes a step back, but her foot slips slightly on the wet ground. Her phone drops from her hand and hits the pavement. The screen lights up with the same message again, then there is a sudden silence. A sharp sound breaks the quiet night. It could be a scream, or it could be something worse. The music from the wedding continues, unaware. And just seconds later, someone inside the hall hears something strange from outside. The laughter fades, Swarla stop dancing. And in that chilling moment, the celebration begins to crack. The music slowly fades as more guests notice something is wrong. The door to the hall opens, and a cold breeze rushes inside. One of the guests steps out to check, calling Nina's name. There is no answer. The street that was glowing with wedding lights now feels dark and empty. Then someone gasps. Just a A few steps away, near the alley, Nina is lying on the ground. Her dark hair spreads across the pavement, her phone lying only inches from her hand. For a second, no one moves. It is like time has frozen. Another guest kneels beside her, gently shaking her shoulder, begging her to wake up. Nina does not respond. Her eyes are closed. The joy from moments ago is completely gone. Inside the hall, Swarla see the fear on everyone's faces. Without thinking, they rush outside, still holding hands. Swarla's white outfit stands out against the dark street. The happiness from their wedding night disappears in an instant. Swarla's hands begin to shake. One of them whispers, "No, this can't be real." They drop to their knees beside her, calling her name over and over. The flashing blue lights of the ambulance soon fill the street. Paramedics move quickly, asking everyone to step back. The wedding decorations still shine behind them, a painful reminder of what this night was supposed to be. Swarla stand close, tears running down their faces as they watch the paramedics work desperately. Seconds feel like hours. The street is silent except for the sound of equipment and quiet sobbing. Finally, one of the paramedics slowly stands up. The look on their face says everything before they even speak. They did everything they could, but it was too late. Wave of shock spreads through the crowd. Someone begins to cry loudly. Swarla hold on to each other, completely broken. Their wedding night, meant to be the happiest moment of their lives, has turned into a nightmare they will never forget. And, as police cars arrive and block off the street, one question hangs heavy in the cold air. What really happened to Nina? The blue police lights keep flashing, turning the wedding decorations into cold shadows. Officers begin to move everyone back inside, asking questions one by one. The music is turned off. The cake sits untouched. Chairs are left scattered across the floor. Their wedding clothes are stained from kneeling beside Nina on the pavement. They can barely speak. One officer gently asks when they last saw her. Another asks if she seemed upset. Slowly, guests begin to share what they noticed. Someone says, "Nina stepped outside after checking her phone." Another says they thought they heard raised voices. A third guest admits they saw a figure near the alley but could not see the face clearly. Police pick up Nina's phone from the ground. The screen is cracked, but a message is still visible. We do not see the full words, but the officer's serious expression tells us it was not friendly. There's also something else missing: Nina's bag. The one she carried into the wedding is nowhere to be found. Did she leave with it? Or did someone take it? As officers check nearby cameras, tension spreads through the street. Neighbors watch from their windows. Rumors begin to grow. Was this an accident? Did she fall during the argument? Or did someone push her? The idea that Nina may not have been alone sends fear through everyone. Swarla's wedding night ends not in celebration, but in silence. Instead of dancing under soft lights, they sit in a quiet room, holding hands tightly, trying to understand how everything changed so fast. This was supposed to be the start of their new life together. Instead, it became the night they lost someone they loved. And just before the episode ends, police reveal one final twist. CCTV footage shows Nina meeting someone on purpose. She was not surprised to see them. She was waiting. The screen cuts to black as one question fills the minds of everyone. Watching, if Nina planned that meeting, did she know she was walking into danger?